Today, we are diving into a really fascinating, personalized method for learning languages at lightning speed. This whole system comes from the YouTube channel Zayad, and it combines a really simple, powerful practice loop with, well, a little bit of AI magic. Okay, let's get into it. You've been there, right? We all have. Staring at a mountain of flashcards, just feeling like fluency is some far-off dream. But what if the problem isn't how hard we're trying, but how we're trying? This system is designed to smash right through that frustration. So here's the game plan. First, we'll tackle the big problem, the vocabulary mountain. Then we'll get into the actual strategy, building a high-frequency foundation, using a daily 20-sentence sprint, and then the really cool part, supercharging with AI. And finally, we'll see how it all comes together in the multilingual mission. All right, so first up, let's talk about the big challenge. Every single person trying to learn a language runs into this huge wall, the sheer number of words you have to learn. It can feel, well, impossible. And you know, the creator of this system, Zad, puts it perfectly. Vocabulary is the absolute bedrock of communication. It's simple, right? You can't build a house without bricks, and you definitely can't speak a language without words. So the real question is, how do you collect those bricks in the smartest way possible? And this is where things get really clever. Instead of just trying to learn every single word you come across, you start smarter. You focus on the words that actually matter the most. It's all about what are called high-frequency and defining words. I mean, think about it. In any language, there's a small group of words that do all the heavy lifting in everyday conversation. The goal here is to find those words and master them first. And here it is, the magic number, 2,000. The idea is that mastering these 2,000 essential words gives you enough firepower to handle most daily situations. Suddenly, that intimidating vocabulary mountain feels more like a hill you can actually climb. Once you're at the top of that hill, then you can start exploring all the specialized words for different topics. Okay, so the theory is solid. Focus on 2,000 keywords. But how do you actually get them into your brain? Well, that brings us to the practical daily exercise that is the absolute heart of this system, the 20-sentence sprint. The process itself is just brilliantly simple. First, you pick 20 of your high-frequency words for the day. Then, you actually speak 20 sentences out loud, using one of those words in each sentence. And here is the secret sauce. You use a tool like Google Docs voice typing to instantly write down everything you say. No slow, tedious typing. And this is the real reason it works so well. This isn't passive learning, just staring at a list and hoping things stick. By speaking the sentences out loud, you are actively practicing how the words sound and feel. You're training your mouth and your brain at the exact same time, which is just way more effective for building real-world fluency. All right, so you've spoken your sentences and you've got this raw text captured. Now this is where the whole system gets a massive 21st century upgrade. We're about to supercharge this whole process with a little bit of AI. I mean, just look at the difference here. The old way, you'd need to find a language partner to correct your mistakes, and then translation would be this whole other slow, painful process. But with an AI tool like ChatGPT, you get instant grammar corrections, translations into multiple languages, and even custom pronunciation guides, all in a matter of seconds. It's a total game changer. And here's the exact workflow. You just copy your raw text from Google Docs, you paste it into an AI tool. Then you give it a few simple commands. Hey, correct the English in these sentences. Great, now translate them into Korean, Vietnamese, and Turkish. And you know what? Create a pronunciation guide for the Korean, but for a Turkish speaker. It is literally like having a whole team of expert tutors on call 24/7. So you do this day in and day out, but what's the end game here? These aren't just random exercises. They are all building blocks for something much, much bigger. Let's take a look at the ultimate goal of this whole thing. Check this out. The creator's personal mission is to complete 300 of these sprint sessions. That's 100 for English, 100 for Korean, and another 100 for Vietnamese. Every single session builds on the last one, systematically covering those 2,000 core words and creating this enormous personal library of learning materials. And here, this is what you get at the end of every single session. You've got your original English sentence, now perfectly corrected, sitting right next to flawless translations in your target languages. These examples here come straight from one of the creator's actual practice sessions. You have literally just created your own custom-made textbook page. And that's the ultimate payoff. After 300 sessions, you haven't just learned a bunch of stuff. You've built a real asset. a completely personalized, multilingual library of sentences that you made that you can use for practice or even share with other people who are learning, which is exactly what the creator does. Which really brings us to the final question. When you step back and look at this whole system, it's not about AI replacing the hard work. Not at all. It's about AI amplifying your hard work, making it smarter, faster, and more effective. It's focused, it's scalable, and it's incredibly powerful. So you have to wonder, is this blend of personal practice and AI leverage the future of how we learn things on our own?